Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. At the time I'm recording this, we finally are seeing, after 2 days, a bit of an uptick in crypto markets, which means if we wait just 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes on the high end, we'll see new lows, right? Because things happen fast in crypto. But no, look, when markets dropped the other day, as it turns out, almost no one sold XRP. Like a very, very low percentage of humans actually sold their XRP. But as is the case when you're going up or going down dramatically, it actually doesn't take a ton of humans to cause such activity. But it doesn't mean that a ton of humans have suddenly lost faith in XRP or crypto, broadly speaking. It's just simply not the case. And in fact, I'm going to show you the panic period. And we actually saw a slight uptick in XRP address creation. Why might that be? And on top of that, again, I don't make price predictions. I don't pretend to know what's going to happen. I'm just very optimistic for the long haul. But even if you want to talk in the short term, there is perspective from a number of analysts, including Credible Crypto, which I think he has some of the best perspective out there and most reliable. He thinks that in all likelihood, if a particular level holds, we're going to just be moving to the upside. And this was actually within the realm of what he's been warning us to expect for some time. So the fact that we did see Bitcoin within the last 24 hours in the $25,000 range to upper 25,000s, that's not actually necessarily peculiar, he says. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so here we have XRP back up a little bit to 52 cents. I'll take that after seeing it as low as 38 cents on at least one exchange. You got Bitcoin up to 26,219 bucks. Crypto Fear and Greed Index, it only updates once every 24 hours, so we're still sitting here at 39 out of 100, indicating the market is in fear. But it'll be interesting to see if there's any move to the upside. If there is, it probably won't be much, but there has been a bit of positivity for at least a portion of today. But take a look at this. I put out a poll, and it's actually still running. I set it for 24 hours, but I don't think that even if you add another 2 days, it's going to budge much, to be honest with you. Although if it does, I'll highlight that in a future video. But I wanted to know, how many people have sold XRP? And I understand that this isn't some sort of global sample of whether people are buying or selling, and it's not this scientific poll. It's an X poll, formerly known as Twitter. But still, it's thousands of people, so the sample size isn't bad anyway. And I think that most of the people that follow me on X probably into XRP. I think that's pretty reasonable to speculate here. And so I simply asked the following as a poll. Did you sell any of your XRP as a result of the price crash that occurred yesterday, August 17th, 2020? So now at this point it's been 2 days, but only 7.5% of people said yes, while 92.5% of people said no. And so to anybody out there that are listening who did respond yes and you did sell your XRP, I'm not here to assume what's best for you or right for you. I'm not telling you right or wrong, and I would never disparage anybody for buying or selling an asset. Whatever they think is right for them, that's perfectly fine. I'm just going to share my perspective too. But I speculate that a lot of these people, this would just be my educated guess here, probably made a decision based on emotion rather than specifics having to do with the fundamentals of XRP. Because look, the XRP went down, quite a bit, and more so than percentage-wise than Bitcoin, but it directionally did the same thing. And XRP didn't go down because there was something wrong with XRP or the XRP ledger. So I think for most of these people, it's probably just fear and wanting to limit exposure. And that's why, hey, people want to behave like that. We're all adults. We get to choose how we do stuff here. But look, it's part of what I'm counting on is people behaving like that, to be honest with you, and understand that most people aren't going to make such decisions. And you know what? Also, it's probably, it could be the case. I mean, we could speculate that it's more than 7.5% of humans globally that sold XRP in this panic. And part of the reason that I say that is I think that those people people like you and I who are paying attention to what's going on and are more involved in the XRP community, even if you're more of an observer in the XRP community than a participant on social media, I think those types of people who are in the community and have that sort of backing, I think they're less likely to sell and like using emotions to sell anyway, rather than logic. So it could be the case that it was a greater percentage of humans globally that sold XRP, but either way, not that much. And you can just use your brain to figure this out, because imagine this were the inverse. Imagine that instead of only 7.5% of people selling, imagine it were only 7.5% of people that didn't sell. Well, XRP would probably be about a penny right now. So you can kind of figure out, yes, there was some bleeding out and the price went down very, very quickly based on, so that's a supply dynamic shifting very quickly. But it's most people that held, obviously. And we can prove that further here. This data, this just comes from the XRP ledger itself. This is the XRP scan website. And that chart in the middle of your screen shows the number of new XRP accounts activated from the beginning of this month, August 1st, through the end of yesterday, August 18th. Now, again, the 17th of August is when we had that terrible move to the downside. And so look at what we had leading up to this. August 15th, new accounts created 1,568. August 16th, new accounts created 1,690. The day after that, this is the day where things started going wacky, 1,682. And it did happen later in the day, so you would have expected a bunch of new accounts here, but it's basically at parity compared to the day before. And then you go to the next day, we saw an uptick damn near 2,000 new accounts created on the XRP ledger. Shouldn't we just see a decrease in account creation? Shouldn't we see that? No, what you're seeing happening here is after the dramatic move to the upside, there was a lot of people that swooped in while the prices have been low and decided to purchase the fear of the people that wanted to sell. It's just tale as old as time, my friends. And so again, having observed this personally for over 6 years, I'm just sitting here like I'm telling you, at some point you're just in this enough and you let the logic of it all sink in. At some point, you just become numb to this because you know that if it's not about the fundamentals of the underlying asset, it doesn't matter. Unless you think that, unless you're not convinced, you don't understand why the crypto asset class on the whole is going to be here, even if we're wrong about individual cryptos. Because I'm more sure that crypto is going to be around than I am about any individual cryptocurrency, including XRP, which is my favorite cryptocurrency. I'm more sure that the concept of the asset class continuing to be here as long as humans have the internet, right? I'm more certain about that than that I picked any of the right horses, even though I hold, with the horses being crypto, so I hold about 30 different horses. But I'm just trying to illustrate a point here, because some people, even if you didn't succumb to emotion in making your financial decisions the other day, I understand that this can still feel unsettling to see the price go down. And that only makes you human. Like, it's okay. Like sometimes I joke that people making emotional buying and selling decisions are useful idiots, and there is truth to it, but I'm still having a little fun in the way that I word it, because we're all human. Like, I have felt afraid because of market stuff I've seen way in the past. I'm not like that anymore, but I totally get it. And I'm sure a lot of you out there have been feeling that the last couple of days, so I sympathize. But that's why I'm trying to share what I'm sharing. I can't tell you what to do. I would never want to offer financial advice. I don't know what's best for you. I'm just saying, here's what I've observed. Here's how I see humans behaving. They've been doing it in the stock market for over 100 years, acting like damn fools. I'm just not going to participate. That's the message. And by the way, I wanted to highlight this too because it's fascinating. Not everything has been going down. One of my largest holdings outside of XRP is HBAR. Here you have it, Hedera hash graph. And earlier this morning, I looked at the price, and most was down actually. In fact, Bitcoin was sinking at that point in time into the upper 25,000s. I just noted in a post on X that at that point in time, HBAR was up about 14%. And as I'm recording now, it's still up 13.5%. So it's just, I'll just say this. Even though I'm not emotionally impacted by the short-term price action, I think one thing that helps people sometimes is having more diverse exposure to the asset class in general. Because think about it if you're comparing it to like how it might be reasonable to invest in equities. Maybe instead of trying to handpick like 10, 20, 30 individual stocks, maybe instead of doing that, maybe look at the fact that history shows us that those that invest broadly, in index funds, maybe it's in the S&P 500, the people that just do that and then don't sell for long periods of time, they make money. And then you don't have to worry about your individual coins. If you want to compare back to crypto, or if you're in equity still, you don't have to worry about the individual stocks. You just have broad exposure. And so for me, it's almost like, even though it's only closer to 30 rather than buying a broader index fund if you're comparing that to equities, okay. But still, in a sense, the concept is somewhat there. And I'm just trying to get broader exposure. But man, I would not feel as great having exposure to only one cryptocurrency, even if it were just XRP. I want to have broader exposure, even though XRP is my favorite, and it has just about the most utility on the planet in the world of crypto. I mean, it's rare. Now, HBAR, I'm confident. I'm not going to talk about HBAR a bunch in this video, but it does offer genuine, real utility. And in fact, if you're not aware of it, you probably should be paying attention, because one of the most well-known use cases for XRP, which is XRP as a bridge currency, they're trying to solve the same problem using HBAR right now. And I don't say that to scare people, and there are some specifics that I'd like to run through with you, so I'll probably just do that in a separate video. It does nothing to reduce my confidence in XRP, but you should definitely be aware of it, especially if you think that it's reasonable to expect Ripple to bring the price of XRP up, which, by the way, spoiler alert, it is not reasonable to think that. Ripple does not control that. But still, HBAR is jumping in on that use case, just in a little bit of a different way. So yeah, I probably will make a video on that soon. And then let's cover this here. So I want to share with you what Credible Crypto had to say. One of my favorite analysts out there with 345,600 followers on X, formerly known as Twitter. And here's what he had to say the other day. The fact that Bitcoin held its local low while Ethereum broke it on this recent flush is very significant in my opinion. I believe this is another sign that Bitcoin will outperform against ETH and most alts in the coming months as we continue our uptrend to new all-time highs. That's right, folks. Let's pause here. Credible Crypto is the only reputable analyst out there that I follow anyway, that says, yep, this year we are going to see a new all-time high in Bitcoin. Now, that is bold. I don't know if it's going to happen. It's a minority position, I think. But sometimes minority positions actually come to fruition. And so I'll say this too, because no one else is going to be right 100% of the time on what they think is most probable. But he's so frequently right, even if he ends up being wrong on this one, I'll still respect and follow him here, I'll tell you that. But this is a bold move, putting his neck out there, because he's been taking a lot of grief on this one. And he's still saying, even after the drop we had the other day, yeah, we're going to see new all-time highs. That's what he thinks is most probable. Not that any of this is technically a guarantee, but that's what he thinks is most probable. And he has parameters, by the way, set. And if certain parameters are broken, then he will no longer believe that to be the case. So anyway, let me continue, though. He says, for those who have been following me for some time, you may remember something similar occurring when Bitcoin was at $10,000 back in 2020, right before our rally to $60,000 plus. At that time, I was also expecting a mega rally led by Bitcoin to new all-time highs, $20,000 plus, and I recorded a video pointing this very same observation out at the time. And then he provided a link for it. And so it is the case that when you're in times where people are emotionally feeling certain things, kind of like we're in right now, you see directionally certain things happening, people don't believe that it's possible for the rebound. It was the same thing back then. Then he says, in multiple tweets over the last couple of days leading up to today, I had stated that any movement above the low marked off in the Bitcoin chart, which would be 24,800, often stated as $25,000 for simplicity, is a distraction and doesn't change anything with regards to higher time frame bullish market structure. As we can see by today's events, those lows held on major / liquid spot exchanges, Coinbase, Binance, Bitstamp, Kraken, Qcoin, which means nothing has changed with regards to higher time frame bullish market structure, and therefore nothing has changed with regards to my position / expectations for the coming months. The last month plus long consolidation was either going to end with some tightening consolidation structure, sideways/triangle, or a major liquidation event like our prior correction since $15,000 bottom. It looks like the crypto gods chose the latter. Now that that's out of the way, let's get this show on the road. And here's the chart that he shared. Bitcoin USD on the left and ETH/USD on the right. So tons of optimism there, and this isn't scaring him in the least. Now, it didn't for me. I just don't care to be a chart analyst because, like, the idea of digging into charts to that degree to me every single day, oh my God, can I just watch paint dry? I would prefer to watch the paint dry. It doesn't sound fun to me. It doesn't sound like a party. I enjoy being in the space, but I like my hands-off approach when it comes to my investment. It's just when it's higher one day, fine, I'll sell. That's pretty much it. I like it unsophisticated. I don't want to be bogged down every day in the charts of that, but I do appreciate people like Credible Crypto who enjoy getting into the weeds because different people like different things in life, and I appreciate that he does. And I do think, even for most people who are not into technical analysis and don't understand it, myself included because I don't want to, I still think that these types of things and understanding certain patterns, I think this helps the typical person who is emotional to perhaps not make emotional decisions. I think it can help to calm people down a bit. Doesn't mean that he's right or he's wrong here, or that every analyst is mostly right or mostly wrong. That's not the point. I think if you can just recognizing that we keep seeing the same types of things over and over again, the same is true in the stock market, I think it can help some people once they realize it, if they let it sink in, it can help people to maybe chill out a little bit. Because humans are going to keep doing this. Like, I'm telling you, jumping into crypto, that this is the most volatile asset class on the entire planet. Don't expect it to stop being the most volatile asset class on the entire damn planet just because you put your money in something. No, it's still going to be volatile AF. But that's the point. Without that, I'm not as interested in it, right? I'm here for this. And one day it will be less interesting. It will be less volatile because the more money gets thrown into this thing, it'll flatten stuff out. Cool. We're here early. I love it. This is fantastic, cool stuff. And most people, I firmly believe this, have held on to their XRP, and now we've got some new holders as a result of it. So we had some exits. Let's say had some new ones come in. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.